What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today I'm going to show you a clip. We're going to continue this clip from CNBC. They're talking about Social Security, the problems that Social Security is facing right now. If you didn't catch, I posted a video yesterday. If you did not catch that video, check it out. I'll post a link at the end of this video. And in the comment section, I'll also have a link, so you can just click on that link. If you go down to the comments, it'll be at the very, very top. So we're going to take a look and listen to the rest of this video, and then I'm going to give you guys my thoughts. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification, clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. Just a reminder, thank you guys all for your support. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, you can at the TEC Show Live. Okay, so let's get right over to the continuation of this video. Here we go.
Presidential candidate, President Biden proposed imposing higher taxes on the wealthy to make benefits more generous for Americans who need them most. Broadly speaking, that's been the kind of reform Democrats have proposed. As president, he's promised to defend and strengthen the program, but has yet to lay out a specific plan.
We are all waiting to see what President Joe Biden might propose as we near the 2024 elections. I think that may, again, put pressure on him. The Republicans.
And so this is good. We have the election coming up, so we at least hopefully will hear something when it comes to President Biden as far as what, I mean, we heard his 4-point plan, but that was back when he ran for president the first time. So that was a long time ago. So now we need to hear, what do you want to do now? What are you in favor of? I mean, right now, the talk is that Representative Larson, the Social Security 2100 Act, that's pretty much what President Biden wants to move forward with, but he has not endorsed it in a sense where he is promoting it. He hasn't really talked too much about it. And so people they want to know, what are you going to do about Social Security? And this is going to be a question that's going to be asked of everyone who's running for president. So President Biden, all the people on the Republican side that are running, they're all going to get asked this question. And it's going to be very interesting to hear what they have to say and how they want to reform Social Security. And that's why I put out some videos where I've looked at some of these different candidates and I've let you guys see exactly what they're saying about Social Security. And then I even grade them on how I think their plan would work. And I've also asked you guys to grade them as well. So we're going to continue to do that. But it's going to be very crucial to pay attention to what these politicians are saying, because they're all going to be talking about Social Security. And if we pick the wrong person to be president and we pick the wrong people in Congress to represent us, we could see a situation where Social Security gets major cuts as a result of that.
The Republicans have not put forward formal legislation, really, as of yet, but have talked about raising the retirement age, finding different ways to invest Social Security's trust funds.
The retirement age was gradually raised to 67 years old back in 1983, the last time Social Security finances were in danger. So yes, this has happened before, and Congress enacted a major overhaul. Now, there are supporters of raising the age even more, to 70 years old.
This is not a popular proposal. It's a very divisive one. Not everyone is in a position to continue to work. Some people have jobs that demand a lot of physical labor, and it would be hard to continue to work until a higher age. Then there's the opposite argument that, people are having longer careers, living longer lives, and this could be sustainable for some people.
Would there have been a better place for this program of where this money could have grown more so that we wouldn't be at the place that we're in now?
Well, that's a good question. Government bonds are a very safe investment. When you're looking at other types of systems, like, say, for example, a pension system for state government employees, those funds may also be diversified and invested in things like the stock market. Stock market investment brings potentially more rewards, but also more risks.
The good news is, we do still have a decade before the trust funds are expected to run dry. And experts don't seem to think it will get to the point that we enter 2034 and Americans experience a 20% cut across the board.
I'm confident that Congress won't allow the trust funds to become insolvent for two reasons. First, Social Security is extremely popular. And second, Social Security is extremely important. Voters care about Social Security. They would vote out of office anybody who would impose a sudden 20% cut in benefits. And the reason is that low-income Americans who rely on Social Security will be pushed into poverty. Americans aren't going to stand for that, and Congress won't allow it.
However, what is concerning is how long we'll have to wait for Congress to take action.
I think it's unlikely that we will have legislation on Social Security passing in the absence of a crisis. We already do see increasing interest in the program's long-term prospects. We already do see members of Congress and senators coming up with ideas about how they might change the system and update the system. But I doubt that we'll actually see a bill passing into law until we get pretty close to that date.
President Biden does not have a plan that adds up to pay for Social Security. President Trump has false promises that he's somehow going to pay full benefits, but we don't know how he's going to do it. For Social Security reform to happen today, we need somebody to make it happen. We need leadership at either the presidential or the congressional level, and so far we don't see it. If Congress had addressed Social Security in the 1990s, when we really knew that the program faced long-term deficits, we could have had an easy and painless resolution to this problem. But by delaying for decades, it means whatever resolution we come to is going to be more difficult.
If reform is enacted today, there's time to plan, adjust, and gradual changes are always less painful than drastic ones. Whereas waiting until the last minute, experts say, could be detrimental.
I am increasingly fearful that we're going to face a hard landing. It could cause a recession if we have to have a dramatic increase in taxes or a dramatic cut in benefits. The risks of waiting are huge, not just to Social Security beneficiaries, but to the economy as a whole.
For American people, the real responsibility for them is to pay attention to what they're talking about and how they might want to either vote or influence their lawmakers to decide.
Okay, so you saw that last part there where she was talking about it's up to us to pay attention. And I think that's really important for us to focus on. We need to pay attention to what politicians are saying about Social Security and what they're doing about Social Security. Because if we're not paying attention, they're going to do whatever they want. If we are paying attention, then they're going to say, okay, well, they're listening to what we're talking about here. They know about if we're raising the full retirement age, that's really a cut to Social Security. And so by doing that, by just paying attention, by providing information, and that's why I like to provide you guys proposals. And I know some people get upset when they watch my videos and they say, well, this is just a proposal. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's important for us to know what these proposals are, because what politicians do a lot is they'll do polls, okay? In-house polls. So they'll talk to people, they'll call people up, they'll call people in their district and say, how do you guys feel about this? How do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about raising the full retirement age? And then by those polls that they do, some people might say, you know what? I never really thought too much about it, or I don't know, I don't really care, or I don't really follow politics, all this stuff. So when they're doing these polls, if the people aren't responding, if they're just saying, okay, yeah, well, that sounds okay, and they're not giving any alternatives, then politicians will go with that. They'll say, you know what, raise the full retirement age. People in my district, they're not really that concerned about it. But if you are following what's going on when it comes to Social Security, and you know there are other bills that are out there, and you know that you have proposals for raising $200 raise for Social Security, or providing, the 125% of the poverty line, and all these different things that politicians are talking about, if you know about that, if you're informed, and you have one of these pollsters call you, you can say, you know what? No, I don't think raising the full retirement age is what we should do. I think we should actually do this, or I think we should actually do this. And that will make these politicians say, wait, hold up. Maybe we shouldn't be just doing what we think, raising a full retirement age and things like that, because these people are paying attention. And if they don't like raising that full retirement age, and they're not looking down the road of the problems that we could see by raising the full retirement age, then we're not going to go that route, because if we go that route, we might end up losing the next election. And so paying attention is very, very important. And so Social Security reform, there are going to be some people that are going to hurt from this, okay? Bottom line, If you raise the cap and you have wealthy people paying more into Social Security, paying into the payroll tax, that's going to hurt them. You could have a situation where they start making cuts to benefits. That's going to hurt people on the bottom. People who are right now around the poverty line, they're going to be even poorer because of this situation. If you decide to cut benefits from the top, so people who are maxing out when it comes to Social Security benefits, that's going to hurt those people who are maxing out. So people are going to get hurt. If you talk about raising the payroll tax overall, then people who are working right now, they're not even receiving Social Security. People who are working, they're going to pay more in taxes when it comes to Social Security. And so people will get hurt and people will be affected by Social Security reform. And so that's why politicians right now, they don't really know what to do. And they're afraid to do something because they know that they're going to hurt different parts of the population by making this decision. But this decision needs to be made because if they don't make it in 10 years, it's going to be an automatic 20% cut. So I want to know what you guys think about this. So let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.